Hello everyone, I'm James Milan. Welcome to this Town Hall update. I am joined here at ACMi Studio A by Jim Feeney, our town manager, for the update. Jim, boy, I always thank you for coming up to the studio, but today was a trek because here we are, early April, moving through snow and sleet and hail, etc. Kind of crazy, huh?
No kidding. Unexpected turn of events here to, be dropping plows in early April.
Yeah.
So,
good thing you hadn't put them away yet, huh?
No kidding.
All right, well, let's get on to the business of today, the official agenda. We want to talk about the election that is upcoming very shortly. There's an annual report to talk about. There's more money coming into Arlington. Yay, no surprise there, and we'll talk about that. And also the return of a reenactment that we haven't seen in several years. So that will be exciting. EcoFest will wrap things up, but let's get started with the election.
Sure. Thank you, James. Happy to be here as always. Just a quick reminder that we are but days away from the April 6th election. So polls will be open for the annual local election this Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So you obviously be voting on some town-wide offices, your town meeting members, but there is also a ballot question this year that reads, shall the town vote to have its elected town clerk becoming an appointed town clerk of the town? So that is obviously important business, and we just wanted to remind folks to make sure to visit the polls on Saturday and cast a vote in the annual election.
All right, that sounds good. So tell me about the annual report. I assume it's the town's annual report, obviously.
Sure.
It's now online.
So we've just, sent the 2023 annual report to the printer, and a version is available online. So the annual report sort of captures for all time and captures for history what the achievements of the last year have been within the town's government, and it lays out a little bit of what the goals for the future are, but it oftentimes serves as a historical reference that we use. We're oftentimes looking back at old annual reports to see exactly what happened and when. So invite folks to read that on our website. It really does, has a lot of nice pictures, but also a lot of really detailed accounting of what happened over the course of 2023. And obviously want to thank Joan Roman and Jana Septom from our communications folks for assembling that report this year. It truly looks great.
Well, as the communications folk right here who assembles the annual report for ACMi for the same reasons, each year, archival importance, and then a chronicling of everything that's happened, a good place for people to go to just find that out and get used, just kind of if they're new or want to get a feel for, in this case, the town. It's a great kind of efficient way to do that. So
agreed.
Let's hope that happens for folks, and congratulations to Joan and Jana for that. We try not to ever let a town hall update go by without announcing more money that is coming into Arlington for different good reasons. So tell us about the latest
Indeed,
news.
and this is a significant infusion of federal funds into the town of Arlington. So special thanks goes out to Congresswoman Catherine Clark for helping secure nearly $1 million of community project funding for the town of Arlington in consultation with the Mystic River Watershed Association to institute some green infrastructure and small-scale stormwater mitigation projects along the Mystic River watershed. We're particularly proud of this award, not just because it's nearly for $1 million, but because it highlights and will help expand the use of some award-winning stormwater mitigation techniques pioneered and developed by our own town engineer, Wayne Chenard, who's a bit of a stormwater expert. So these are some techniques that we've been piloting here in town, and specifically there's a sort of an interesting street trench design that helps direct water so that it'll infiltrate into the ground instead of going into our pipes and into our surface waters. It's a really efficient and simple design that we'll be looking to expand the use of. And then the second design, also includes capturing stormwater runoff from the streets, but we'll be using a specialized tree well that involves some sort of modified structural soils below ground, some porous or permeable type pavements up above to allow that stormwater to mitigate and infiltrate into the ground. Obviously, it provides an additional source of water for street trees, which sometimes struggle to get as much water as they need when they're sort of surrounded by a paved environment. But that structural soil, that below ground medium is really important for street tree growth, right? They're not sitting out in a field or in a park where their roots can spread without issue. It's oftentimes they're trying to grow in a condition that's very narrow and involving lots of compacted soils. So this really innovative technique, not only hopes to mitigate stormwater issues, it should help increase our tree canopy. Street trees should be able to grow more quickly and root more firmly in this new subterranean environment that's developed. And I think we're all sort of looking forward to the fact that, if we can get the street trees to root more deeply and have the roots penetrate further into the earth, then we'll have less conflicts with sidewalk panels getting heaved or impacts that may happen in the roadway. So it's oftentimes a conflict with these things happening in such close proximity. So we're very grateful for these monies to pioneer and sort of expand the use of some of these really innovative techniques. We'll also be doing some traditional rain gardens as well throughout the course of the project.
Well, you're certainly right about Wayne for one thing. I remember attending stormwater seminars that he did 10 years ago or something like that, and being struck at that time, man, this guy really knows what he's talking about. So that's excellent. Also, again, not to bring the weather in too much, but on a day like today, talking about stormwater mitigation and improvements in that area couldn't be more topical, really.
Yeah, very forward thinking.
Yeah. So next thing I would like to ask you about is Patriots Day, which is upcoming. And again, there's going to be a reenactment where there hasn't for a while.
Agreed. So obviously the pandemic had sort of put a hiatus on our traditional reenactment that has occurred, but it will be back. And I like to think better than ever this year. So the Battle of Monotamy, as we know it, the reenactment will take place on April 14th, starting at 2 p.m. And we're using this year's reenactment as essentially a full-scale dress rehearsal for the reenactment that will take place next year in 2025 as part of the 250th anniversary of the semi-quincentennial celebration of Patriots Day and the start of the American Revolution. So for those that don't know, the Battle of Monotamy was sort of a traveling battle that started at the foot of the rock site up just shy of Arlington Heights at the in the area of Mass Ave and Lowell Street, where the British regulars were retreating from Lexington and Concord and begin to encounter Minutemen from Monotamy, now Arlington, and 13 other surrounding communities. And the battle traveled eastward along what is now Mass Ave towards Boston, but with sort of a pretty significant and fierce and bloody battle taking place at the Jason Russell House. So again, this year's battle will commemorate this really momentous occasion and recreate that traveling battle from sort of starting near Arlington Heights and proceeding through Arlington, with folks in, period correct uniforms. There will be, I want to certainly call this out for folks at home. The musket fire is very real. It is just powder. There's no risk to the public, but those booms can be startling. So if you are noise sensitive, we want you to know that this is taking place. Again, starts at 2 p.m. I think, the battle itself, the reenactment, will take place over the course of about 90 minutes as it travels down Mass Ave. So with that, obviously, there will be the noise impact. We are inviting spectators, though, to come out and view the event. The way it's designed is we're asking spectators to view from the north side of Mass Ave, or what I'd call the Arlington High School side of Mass Ave. So, spectators can form groups along the route of the battle. Obviously, there will be event organizers and police present to help, show folks where to be and make sure it's a safe event. But there will also be signage posted for individuals to follow. Obviously, such a large traveling event down Mass Ave does necessitate a road closure. So from approximately 12 noon to 5 p.m., Mass Ave will be closed between, I believe it's Mount Vernon Street and Franklin Street on the other side of Arlington Center. So that's a pretty significant impact, but again, that's why we need to do a dress rehearsal this year for next year, so we can make sure that we get it right. And I do know that ACMi will be there covering the event, so.
I was going to say, palpable excitement around here about that. Really, our youth coordinator and a bunch of high schoolers are really looking forward to this, and they're going to be showing all that they can do in terms of covering this event. So.
Right, and this is just one event of many this year. So to run through a few others, I know there's going to be a tavern week here in town, which again is a first. There are a number of restaurants from April 10th to April 19th that will be offering different and unique Patriots Day specials. So certainly we invite folks to support the local economy, visit local businesses, eat at the restaurants during that time. But the day before the reenactment, which again is on the Sunday the 14th, on Saturday the 13th, there will be Jason Russell House tours run by the Arlington Historical Society between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. And on the same day, again, a first is going to be between the hours of 12:30 p.m. and 5:30 p.m., a Monotony beer hall that is going to be hosted at Town Hall. We'll be featuring some local music acts, but also brews from local Arlington brewing.
Yeah, that might draw a couple of people.
Yeah, an interesting and unique event for Town Hall. I think we're very much so looking forward to it. And then the day after the reenactment, on Monday, April 15th, that we know is Patriots Day, there will be a celebration starting at 10 a.m. at the Cyrus Dallin Museum. At 11 a.m., there will be a number of family-friendly activities and light refreshments again at Town Hall, awaiting the arrival of Paul Revere and William Dawes for their famous ride, where they should arrive at Town Hall at approximately 12 p.m. And then from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., there will again be tours of the Jason Russell House run by the Arlington Historical Society. And the Arlington 250 committee has their own website that will be detailing and chronicling all these events. So invite folks to visit the website and learn more, but I would be remiss if I didn't specifically call out Leader Bank for, nearly all of these events are being made possible by their generous sponsorship of this year's events. So kudos to them for making this sort of momentous occasion a really big deal here in Arlington, but successfully contributing to making it memorable for our residents.
Man, lots, and I do mean lots, going on this year around Patriots Day, and in preparation, of course, for the really big festivities of next year. And I was waiting. I'm glad you got in semi-quincentennial. I was waiting for that.
Been practicing.
Yeah. In addition, I kudos to you basically for your explanation around the grants that we got, or the money that we're getting in from the government for stormwater mitigation, followed by your explanation of what happened at Monotony all these years, or in Monotony those years ago. You were paying attention in both science and history class, as it turns out.
Indeed.
Good job. All right, so to wrap up the official agenda for today, something near and dear to my heart, I have to say, tell us about EcoFest for this year.
So EcoFest, again, going to be a long series of events, but it will kick off or begin on Earth Day, which is April 22nd, and it will run all the way through mid-May. So obviously EcoFest is a time of learning, volunteering, and celebrating the environment and sustainability, both of which are, critically important to Arlington and its residents. So there will be dozens of events during EcoFest. They're going to take place throughout and around the community. Almost all of them are free and open to the public. Several will be kid-friendly to, sort of get the younger generation involved. Events will include nature walks, trash cleanups, especially near our prized water bodies, movie screenings, bike tours, and more. So there will be a full list of events that are being developed, and that can all be seen at arlingtonma.gov/ecofest. Visit their page. It's going to be, sort of like Patriots Day. It's going to be a really big deal in Arlington. EcoFest, does draw a lot of interest from our folks, and we're very excited to put on a number of different events for folks to partake in.
Excellent. Anything we have missed? It has been quite a dose here, but
yeah,
want to make sure we haven't missed anything.
Interesting for the weather that we're dealing with today, I did want to note that spring street sweeping has begun and is in progress. Obviously, we're
today
not out
we're
there
using
today.
water for it.
Yeah, but just take every opportunity I can to encourage residents to sign up for our new Arlington Alert system that includes text and email messaging. So, we can give you the information in the palm of your hand to know when the street sweeper is going to be in your neighborhood. Because if your cars are off the road, if your trash cans are up on the curb, we can just do a much better job sweeping the streets. So it's good to give people timely information about when the street sweeper could be passing by their house. And then one other thing to note, I know I mentioned it last time, but the AMPUp committee, or the Arlington Master Plan Update Committee, is still accepting applications and will be doing so until April 14th.
All right. And with that, do you feel updated? I feel updated, that's for sure. He is Jim Feeney, our town manager. He's come to ACMi to share a bunch of information with us today about events coming up very soon and even out into the future. Again, appreciate your time as always, and we appreciate yours as well. This has been the Town Hall Update. I'm James Milan. We'll see you next time.